So tell me, what are we going to talk about today?
Today on Keepin the Geek Bros, episode 79, we've got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is getting even more DLC fighters. Niantic pays $4 million in Pokemon Go trespassing lawsuit. Disney and Apple won't let you binge watch. The Mandalorian to explore the origins of the First Order. Robert Pattinson was fucking furious. Are Sony and Disney renegotiating? What Kylo Ren sees in Dagobah Force Cave? Why adults can't wear costumes in Disney parks? Sony CEO says Spider-Man split partly due to Kevin Feige. Amazon has found a lead actor for the Lord of the Rings series. Disney reportedly demands cancellation of Star Wars panel. Dark Crystal Age of Resistance series review brought to you by Darflex. Garbanzo's Corner, work-life and gaming balance. Inebriated fitness, the coffee effect. All this and more on this week's episode of Keepin the Geek Bros, a family podcast, allegedly. Stay tuned.
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, Keeping Up with the Geek Bros.
Yes. Keeping Up with the Geek Bros podcast, episode 79. I'm your host, Vibe, and with me are my fellow Geek Bros.
Darflex.
Garbanzo.
See, this is what I love about these guys that we discussed. Did you do jazz hands? Was that jazz hands? No, you didn't do jazz hands. That was awesome. When we do our picture, I need jazz hands, okay? That's what I need. I need it when we do this picture. Oh, that was really, really funny. Before we get started, Darflex, tell these fine individuals how to find us on social media.
Absolutely beautiful, folks. I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Now, if you want to check out the Geek Bros, you can find us at Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0. That's GEEKBR0S. If you want to email us, send us some cool stuff. I don't know, confess about your infidelity with your significant other. You can email us at geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com. Now, if you want to see pretty cool links, articles, just BS, and actually, most recently, pictures of Vibe's kid telling him he's not black. You can also check us out on facebook.com/geekbros with a 0. Now, the first place to find the Geek Bros.
First place.
WeBeGeeksPC.com. Now, last week we had a little bit of boba tea, but we're back to the South Florida taste. So if you want to see this beautiful concoction of milk chocolate, cafe con leche, and Egyptian cinnamon, you can check us out. Well, hopefully we have some pumpkin spice coming in because it's the season. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
You can check us out on youtube.com/VibeReb Studios. That's VIBEREVSTUDIOS. And I just want to point out that I did all this without looking at my phone because it's not loading the actual outline right now.
You memorized that in order? Holy crap. Well done.
Now that.
Yes. Jazz hands. All right. Before we get started, we're going to talk about comments and questions from you, the audience. All right, let's see what we got going on. So, oh my God. So from Instagram, Squeezy sent this dissertation, and I didn't read it. I'm going to read it now. He goes, so I heard y'all are out of shows to watch and review. How about random anime or whatever entertainment? Titles, both series and movie, chosen by each member and fans go into a hat. Vibe chooses the name of the member that has to do the review and draws it from the hat. The next episode will then have that member present his piece. After the review, he can then choose another member to do the next review. Vibe then pulls another from the hat and assigns the title. There should also be consequences for members that missed the assignment. The consequences is also pulled from the hat. Consequences must be recorded to be posted into the Geek Bros Instagram. If this is appropriate idea, I would like the anime titled "The Prince of Tennis" in the hat. It can be watched in both subbed and dubbed on Hulu. Now, this is a very interesting idea. Here's the thing. Back when we used to do random anime, and our previous host used to give me assignments, I almost never made it in time for the next podcast. So as much as I love this idea, I would lose every single time it came around on me. Gents, what do you think about this idea for the Squeezy Bits? It's funny.
Is it a whole series or just one episode?
I think it's just
one episode.
I think it's just one episode to review.
I love it.
So
I love it.
You love it?
I can do that.
Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now, and this is my only thing, is that this is a nice segment. I like this segment, but I think that the fan audience member who made this segment should host this segment. So Squeezy Bits, I'll tell you right now, I'll confer with my cohorts right here, but if you commit to just coming on just to review this, and you become the arbiter of this, in other words, you'll write it down. And so everything in this email that said vibe, it would say Squeezy Bits. Yes, Squeezy Bits chooses the name. Squeezy Bits does writes the consequences.
So basically, he'll be like the host of the talk show.
Exactly.
But the host of the game show.
I got you.
I like that idea.
I like that idea too.
And you know what? Like, he can even pre-record the drawing and everything if you can't make it due to fatherly duties or whatever.
Exactly. So I think that Squeezy Bits, since you're listening and I know you're listening, okay, I think you should right. You should be the master and commander of this, and that is agreeable. Then you should send us a message, like you've been sending us a message, and let's figure this out, or get you on a Skype talk real quick, and we will then hammer this out. But I think this is a great idea. But I think we should. I think so. So. Great idea, and I love this. So if you guys out there have ideas or comments that you'd like to listen, we're really open to ideas when it comes to this podcast. It's a very fluid podcast. So send us yes, gender fluid. We do not subscribe to any particular format except for Attack Helicopter. All right, so moving on to YouTube comments. I never forget that. We're moving on to YouTube comments. Keepin the GEEK BROS podcast, episode 76, video recap. Squeezy Bit said at the 47-minute and 15-second mark, not going to send you nudes, but may or may not have cousins who need papers. So he has said that, and he also said it again on the previous podcast, which actually will be up. We'll get to that. We'll get to that point. And then Squeezy Bits again said, everybody's into this live action Spider-Man, but the Spider-Verse is a great idea. Tom, Toby, and Andrew need to all voice their respective characters in the next Sony animated movie, which of course that's what's going to happen. But I think maybe they might say that for a live action, because now that they have Spider-Man back allegedly, they would make some serious money if they were to put all three of them.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to do it, to be honest.
You really think so?
No, because
that's easily $1 billion. Easily $1 billion without
yes,
question.
but here's the thing, because I don't think Sony's gonna think it's not gonna be worth the money, because we already did the animated version.
I don't know. I
so
mean,
we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, but the animated version was great, but it was a stab in the dark with characters that nobody really saw before. You're talking about Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland, and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man together, having some kind of big power, and then if you cast live action versions of the animated characters, are you crazy? That's probably
oh yeah,
that's probably $1.5 billion. I'm being real. Like they would, or if they build up to it as their own like little Avengers thing. Like I would watch that. As curious as I am. So
what I need for them to do is actually bring to life Miles Morales.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I hope they don't change it, because I really like the animated version of Miles Morales. They have to find not even an actor that looks like him, but it'll sound like him, that'll have the same feel as him. That's what I'm saying.
I got fun as all you gotta do is find as a young New Yorican, and you're good.
Yeah, but they're all probably in jail. You can't really cast that many,
Agreed, absolutely.
Unless you're Danny Trejo, which actually he became famous because of a jail scene.
That is true.
That is true.
But we're in different times. Different
times. All right.
Yes.
So we're going with that. Gents, anything to report?
I finished The Dark Crystal, so I'm just, I really enjoyed it. I spent 3 days without AC because my significant other, we tried to install a smart thermostat and completely fucked up the wiring. But it's good now. And
3 days without AC. That sounds
in Florida.
That sounds terrible.
And recently in Florida, which is a completely different
miserable. But okay.
And I actually looked forward to going to work, but there was a
Oh, that's
Alfonso,
hilarious.
anything to report?
Um, I got a couple things in the works right now, both in my personal life and professional. All I can say is I can't give any details right now. But there are some things that are some really cool stuff that hopefully in the future I'll be able to share with everybody. But I just just everyone keep their positive thoughts and prayers towards me, and hopefully everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Thank you for that very ominous yet strangely positive statement. Um, I've got, I've got.
That's about that's all I can do is
No, I
it's like
like it.
I can promise I won't take your soul.
I, you see, why would you say that? That makes me feel even more
Go ahead, say
uncomfortable.
what?
Cuban Santeria. Santeria.
Ooh. For me, my offspring was running for school treasurer or secretary, I forget, and I made him a bomb ass recreation of the Obama Change or Yes We Can mural
Hmm.
photo poster. Yeah, I did it in Photoshop. The idea came about between us as we sat there and said, why don't we just like put like a massive amount of gel in your hair, slick your hair back, and let's try and do this Obama poster. Found myself a nice, a semi decent tutorial, and we rocked it out in an hour. We're talking about taking him into the bathroom, slicking his hair back with. I mean, I'm not talking about a little bit. I mean, gobs of gel to slick his hair back. That man's hair, it doesn't work. So we finally slicked it back. I put him. Well, I don't know. Can you see it? There's a black wall right here. This is part of the partition of the studio. I put him right there. Put on one of my studio lights. Just took my camera phone and did this steady click, ingested it in here, and then somehow in an hour, man, I just made that poster. Printed that bad boy out at FedEx, and oh my god, so nice. If anybody's been following me on my personal social medias, you'd have seen it. I've been gushing about this thing forever because I can't believe I was able to do that so quickly with all I can do in Photoshop, honestly, guys, is do a transparent PNG, and I'm talking about only if the background is a solid background. That's all I can do. What I just did in an hour with a mild tutorial, I couldn't believe it. So I'm gonna mess around with Photoshop some more. It's gonna be great.
Real quick, if your son, if your offspring does get elected due to this Obama poster, just promise me you're not going to buy your son any drones, so he doesn't kill thousands of innocent people. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Too soon. Too soon. You know what? Can we talk about 9/11? Not now, but like in this podcast. I mean, we are filming on 9/11.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
Can we
absolutely.
let me throw that in there? I'm just like only because I just want to mention it. I'll put it right before Dark Crystal. Is that or should I do it after? No. 9/11 reflection. 18 years later, I think it is. Good. There it is. All right. I should have put that in the beginning, but whatever. So that's all I have to report. Fantastic. Next to the line on the script.
All right. What's going on with the Geek Bros?
As of today,
I was
no.
reading ahead.
Oh, you're reading ahead. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's all
sorry,
good.
I was.
I'm proud of you. I'm finally all caught up with all the previously unedited and unreleased podcasts.
Okay.
Even 77 is not up yet. No, 78. 78 goes up today. So I'm finally gonna be all caught up. So with that being said, anything else that's pending that I said was coming out should be coming out over the weekend or as opposed to next week. It was a lot of stuff. I think I was behind 5 episodes. I was behind 5 episodes of the video recap, and I couldn't believe how much we recorded so quickly, so fast. That's what she said. And but I finally caught up. So all the video recaps are there. So all those who have been waiting to watch it, it's there. Watch it. Especially last week we had Squeezy Bits there for the second time on. It was great. It was really fun times. So other than that, stay tuned for more things. The Geek Bros will also the podcast is also going to be streaming on new platforms. I'm just throwing this out there. It will be on, later this week, it'll be on Pandora. It is already on iHeartRadio. It's going to be on TuneIn. It's going to be on Castbox. So I don't know if anybody knows about these or if this is what you're listening to.
But we're on Google Play, aren't we?
We are on Google Play. We are on Google Play, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, and now we're adding Pandora, Castbox, and TuneIn. So we're everywhere you want to be, and I'm gonna keep letting you guys know where else we're gonna be showing up on. Right now, the best places really are Google Play, iHeartRadio, and
Pornhub.
iTunes. And Pornhub. They seem to update the quickest if that's what you're looking for, from what I've heard
Okay.
from our audience. But yeah, we're everywhere. As I continue to extend our RSS feed out there. So hopefully get more notice, more people, and more listeners, just like you guys. We appreciate you guys. So that is it. Episode 79 starts now. It's time for
Boom,
the
boom,
fresh
boom.
scent.
Fresh scent.
What's new in the gaming world? Video games out this week, brought to you by Darflex.
All right. Have you guys actually played any new video games out, or you guys still been on like the same old stuff?
All I'm the only games I'm playing that aren't mobile are World of Warcraft. I'm playing
Okay.
the mobile games. That's about it.
All right.
I,
Well,
on the other
okay.
hand,
Oh yes.
I have been playing Gears 5.
Oh, how do you like it? I'm actually, because I haven't had time, but I have it. I have it, and I'm gonna, and I have these
I
the Halo
let's
Reach
put it-
skins.
Now I know people cannot see me, but I am nodding my head and smiling for a reason.
People
It's
can't see. You.
well, not if they're
No,
listening
no,
to the
no, not if you're not,
podcast.
not if you're not listening. Yeah, if you're listening.
Okay, if you're just listening, you cannot see me. I
But,
yes, I
but
am
you
nodding my
should
head.
be watching us too. You should be listening to us and then watching us to see the shenanigans. We need both numbers.
Okay. It's well, my honest opinion about this is it's a great game, and for those who like me are like one or two chapters away from finishing 4, and they don't want to just go back and finish it. You can actually they actually have a play out of what happens at the throughout a breakdown for all of 4, including the ending. So it actually you're ready to step right into it on 5. So I'm looking forward to continuing the storyline. So far, it is fun, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm really
Wow.
excited. I'm gonna probably try it this weekend. Do you have the Halo Reach characters for multiplayer? Oh, gangster.
Yeah, but remember, I don't really do. And I also got the Terminator one as well.
Well, we can do like if they still have Horde, we can do that together since we don't have to play against like 12-year-old kids calling us all kinds of N words and F words and.
Yeah.
Where are their parents when there's
But
something going
now-
on?
I
Their
digress.
parents are downstairs playing different video games.
Understood. You're right.
They're
That
playing
or
that Hitler Jesus thing where they whatever.
Oh, that game is awesome.
Okay, so
Not that I've played it. Of course.
the first day for this week is going to be September 9th, which
What did
we
you
start
say?
off with
Repeat that.
September 9th.
No. What was the first thing you said? The whole thing.
The first day for this week
The first day.
is September 9th.
day.
And we're starting off with Kings of Lorne, The Fall of Ibris for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Unrailed, Steam Early Access for the PC. Discrepant, Steam Early Access for the PC. Now run to September 10th. Caravan Stories for the PS4. PES 2020 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Blasphemous for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Gears 5 for the PC and Xbox One. Greedfall for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series. Oh, I'm going to get that. For the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now we're on to September 12th. Die Young, official launch for the PC. Super Dodgeball Beats for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare Beta for the PS4, PC, and Xbox One. For the Xbox One, that does come out on the 19th. Everything else comes out on the 12th.
Oh wow.
Demon X Machina for the Nintendo Switch. Oh, sorry, that's on September 13th. That's where we're on. NASCAR Heat 4 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Ellen for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. Borderlands 3 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now we're on to September 16th. We have Nudie Crawl, 2,000 atmospheres for the PC.
Wait, you saying nudie crawl?
But the way they have it, it's like nudie. But it's not but down in like
That's the thing I thought in my head. Nudie crawl, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to throw off your groove.
Jet Cave Adventures for the Nintendo Switch. Now September 17th. We have Session, Steam Early Access for the Xbox One for the end of the PC. We have AI, the Sorinium files for the PC, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. Daymare 8 for the PC. Rebel Cops for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. What do you think the game is about, Rebel Cops? You just go out and not shoot black people? All right, so
too soon.
Groundhog Day, Like Father, Like Son for the PSVR, Rift, and Vive.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Devil's Hunt for the PC. Lego Jurassic World for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh god.
Castle Crashers Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. That's a
I
good
like
game.
that.
Truck Driver, PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
What do you like?
I've actually seen this game, this truck driver game. It's like a simulator, and like while you're driving a truck, you can open beers and you can flick off like oncoming traffic and stuff.
That is awesome.
That is a game right after your heart.
Like you're able to look around like the cockpit of the truck. You look out your passenger seat. There's like a cooler of beers. You just grab the beer, open it, chug it. People are honking at you. You stick when to flick them off. It's pretty good. Exercise the Demons for the PC, and that is it for this week.
Okay, that is the video games out. We're gonna move on to the Battle for Azeroth continues. I have nothing more to say about that. So Darflex.
The Battle for Azeroth has, as far as the story goes, has come to a halt at the moment.
Stalled out.
Not stalled out. We just kind of waiting to see what Sylvanas is going to come up with. Obviously, it is a real world and real time. They're like in-game events. They can't just do everything at once. They have to give you suspense of kind of just thinking everything's okay. And then Sylvanas comes out and, cunts everything up. So, waiting for that. But Classic is still going on, by the way. It's still frustratingly...
Have you gotten on yet?
Yes.
Okay.
For like 10 minutes.
Because of the connection or because you just had to go?
Just time. I had to go. I thought I was going to do it, just try it out, but then I got busy. Leveling up in Classic is significantly much, not harder, just it takes much longer than it does in the current game that you and I play.
And that's funny because I think leveling up is slow as shit in the version that I'm playing right now. It drives me nuts how long it takes and how many critters I'm killing. Of course I stopped because I knew I need to buy a thing to go past 20. You told me.
I'll give you an example. When I first played World of Warcraft in 2004. Okay, so right now to reach the level 20 it took me maybe about a day or 2 days in the new one. When I was playing the original one, it took me about like a week, maybe a little bit more, and I was putting in like maybe 4 hours a day, 3 hours a day. So,
okay, I see the difference. So that means I'm never going in Classic because Classic will make my ass itch for how long it'll take me to log in. Are you aware whether or not the free players can get into Classic?
No, so Classic is subscription only.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's called Classic, because the original one was a subscription only anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And how much again is the subscription every month?
$14 a month. Just ask our viewers to send you prepaid cards.
Yeah. If you guys want me to continue playing, not with Darflex apparently, since he's avoiding me like the Black Plague. If you want to see me hear most of this,
if you were the cool kid in school, you would want to hang out with you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get there. You're gonna get cool. You're on your way to cool. You're just not there yet.
Listen,
that's what the issue.
I don't see many players on this server. I'm just saying. Maybe I don't know if it's the beginning, but when I see somebody running around, I get a little excited for a minute until they do something dickish and get me killed. So, but other than that, I mean,
we should probably switch to a more busier server. But then that costs like $40.
How does that cost $40?
What the fuck?
Why would that cost $40?
They charge you if you want to switch your account to a different server.
Oh, excuse me.
Really?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Okay, no, I'm not that sad. I'm okay being by myself. I'll just keep talking to the same computers that yell at me. And everybody's a dick. Every non NPC is a dick in this game. Every single one of them. It's why am I on the board?
People are bad, bro.
No, but every single character that I talk to is cursing me out or telling me to do something stupid or I mean, just like nobody says thank you in this game.
It's probably because they're behind a keyboard.
Who? No, it's not people. I'm talking about the NPCs, the non-playable characters.
Oh.
They're scripted words. Are
See,
all just rough.
that's what I like about Skyrim. You can kill them.
Oh, okay.
That is true.
I wish I take my frustrations out on the crabs and on the little cockatoos or whatever that can't fight back.
Yeah.
That's what I kill.
You would deal with the crabs.
What I well done. What I am bothered by though is my inability to take out the large things. So let's say there's a bunch of whatever sharks, and I can kill them in like 5 hits, and I can get like 100 to 85 to 100 experience. But then they have this big gigantic shark or this big gigantic what else did I see? This thing in the sky, and we're supposed to be the same level. But it wrecks me, so I don't get it.
Because it's an elite character, but that specific shark, if you follow how the quests tell you, they give you a weapon to kill it. You don't have to.
No. I know, but the weapon to kill it, I don't think I got any. I didn't get any experience from killing it. I got experience from the quest, but I want to kill it and get the experience. I'm pretty sure it'll give me a good chunk of experience. But
you can do it, but just outside of that island. Once you actually get into things, you are able to do. It's just much harder because they are elite characters.
Oh, is that why? But then, so because they're elite, they're better even though we have the same level or higher or a higher level. Because I think they're 11. I'm friggin' 15 or 16. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Why am I getting wrecked? Is that what it is? Like raid, like I would say raid bosses, but like something like that, you need to do it with like a group.
Pretty much.
Cool. So I'll never win those guys. Awesome. Well, anything else to wrap up? You want to tell them, how to find us on the burning something with the thing and the stuff?
Yep. You guys can check us out on Burning Blade server. Our guild is the Harbingers of Darkness.
I'm not in that guild yet.
You are. I did. I invited you.
You did? Wait, I didn't get any invitation.
Yep.
Because you're not high enough level to accept it yet.
No, seriously?
No, you should be. You should be.
Okay, because I didn't get.
Check your mail. I don't know.
No, but I can't access my mail. I don't think you can't send mail. You can't do anything with mail on a free server.
You should be able to get letters.
I don't know. No, I remember when I mailboxes.
Right, yeah. You're right.
Okay, so that's the reason why. But can you at least like friend me or something? Like
until you get off the island, no one can do anything with you. You're
Yeah,
you're like that solo little kid.
So I have to keep
masturbating in the mirror.
But these quests are so asinine, and they're getting harder.
Yeah.
They're getting harder. Like I had this headhunter. Okay, I had to go do something, and there's this headhunter, and no matter how far you run or how fast when he hits you, you lose half your health immediately, and he hits you again, you're dead. And the sad part is I'm dying right in the middle of this fucker. So when I come back, though, as soon as I come back, I die again. I just get it. So I'm dying and getting a little further, dying and getting a little further, dying and getting a little further. And I had to take a break. I almost drop kicked my studio screen.
I can recommend, I'm sure if you do a little search on the internet, you could probably find some little Asian kid over in Indonesia who can probably do it for you in 15 minutes.
Yeah, but then that defeats the purpose. I want the glory. I want the satisfaction. Other than that, then I might as well just give it to one of my something else. But anyway, yes, you should play with us or play with me because I'm lonely. On the Burning Blade, on the current version, non-classic version of World of Warcraft. It is fun sometimes. And with that being said, we're going to move on to our first article of the podcast. This comes from NintendoLife.com. I didn't even know I had articles from Nintendo Life. I just knocked something down. Niantic pays. Yes, I said plays. Pays $4 million in Pokemon Go trespassing lawsuit and will introduce a new reporting system. Again, this article comes from NintendoLife.com. Pokemon Go developer Niantic will pay $4 million to settle a class action lawsuit against the first raised against the company when the company first launched in 2016. As you may remember, the early days of Pokemon Go App Store reign was slightly dampened by reports of dangerous play and trespassing, causing some to lodge official complaints against the developer. In this particular case, legal proceedings were initiated by 12 U.S. Plaintiffs who had been affected by the game, including one person who reported that a number of players had knocked on their door asking to catch Pokemon in their garden. Now, it's funny about this because remember I don't know if you guys were around, but when we originally had a Pokemon Go podcast discussion where they had to make an announcement that Pokemon Go players were not welcomed in this Holocaust Remembrance Museum.
Yep.
Because people were going in there only to catch Pokemon, and it was very disrespectful. And I laughed about it. I did laugh because it was uncomfortable, but it was funny at the same time. You know at that time, at that time you had people getting hit by cars and falling off ledges, and and playing while they're driving.
And at the same time, people were or finding bodies and helping with murder investigations. So you know what? There's two sides to the coin.
Hey,
True.
What kind of Pokemon would you find at a Holocaust memorial?
I don't know. Maybe a Ghastly.
Yeah.
And if you're really lucky, a Gengar. That's terrible. This is why you guys have to watch the podcast, because whenever me or Darflex, especially Darflex, says something that's considered inappropriate, Garbanzo, he clams up. And he just gets this uncomfortable smile on his face, and it's the funniest thing. Like, he makes me uncomfortable. So
You know how they make like the special edition Pokemon all with like costumes and stuff. They should make a Gengar for there with a Starmie or a Staryu tattooed to his chest.
oh my God, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! I didn't.
I think. Oh my God! Just change the team rocket to R to a swastika. We might as well make it that way. Go all out.
That's what it is. That's what Team Rocket is, man.
Team Rocket, swastika.
Team Rocket's a bunch of Nazis.
Rockin' trouble, double trouble. All right. So the majority of Niantic's payout will reportedly go toward legal fees, leaving 12 plaintiffs with just $1,000 each for their trouble.
Out of $4 million?
Yep, but it's going to the legal fees. The official settlement notes that no further litigation will take place. The mention of the case presented novel issues and future trespassing laws. So yeah, so even though it's $4 million, yeah, these places are only getting $1,000 each, which I find asinine and sad. But see, I had a random.
So they spent the last 3 years going back and forth in court to get a grant.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is,
They probably lost more money on just their personal time.
Not necessarily. I'm pretty sure that these lawyers probably said, listen, we won't charge you anything. We'll go after them. And maybe the lawyers are getting most of this $4 million. It did say it's going to legal fees.
I'm telling you right now, most of this is going to
the lawyers on both sides.
The lawyers, man.
So it's a shame, but yeah. So for those of you who were upset about it, then again,
literally 12,000 out of the 4 million is going to the plaintiffs. Everything else is going to the lawyers.
Pretty much. So, congratulations, I guess. So moving on, we're gonna get into. Oh, I missed the one. I completely see. I don't know why I'm doing this. What happens? Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Super Smash Bros.
Even more DLC fighters, and they said we should hope for Waluigi.
So we are getting. Wait, hold on. Are you trying to say we are getting Waluigi?
Yes. Offspring. Are you serious? Come on, out, so we can continue doing my podcast. Goodbye now.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hey, fuck you, Dan.
Yes, so this article comes from Polygon.com. Even more fighters. Nintendo Direct revealed that even more DLC fighters are in development for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate beyond the 5 initial promised. When the game launched, Nintendo only revealed 5 DLC fighters plus the pre-order bonus Piranha Plant. The first, Joker from Persona 5. I thought I put it was the Joker before. It was really funny. Who told me I was wrong? I think it was Squeezy Bits who threw it in my face that it's Joker, not the Joker. That debuted in April. The second one, the hero from Dragon Quest, debuted in July. The third one was Banjo-Kazooie, dropped today, and the fourth is Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury. Wow, it was just revealed. So there will be each character is $6, though the 5th character DLC pack is the 5 character DLC pack is available for $24, which I think I bought. After Nintendo Direct, Super Smash Bros. Series director Mashiro Sakura, added more in your face, Squeezy Bits. Added more context to his decision in a special Smash Focus video presentation. So yeah, so there's gonna be more fighters. I don't think they've told us what they're gonna be. Let me see. Nope, doesn't say anything. It does mention, maybe Overwatch, maybe Fire Emblem Heroes Three Houses. But yes, there'll be more characters. Are any of you guys playing Super Smash Brothers at all, or?
No.
I don't have it.
I own it. I own it, and I've never played it still. Again, I think I only bought the Switch and just to play Let's Go Pikachu, and then after that was it. Like everything, I just haven't touched the Switch in a while. And it's funny because I do have Pokemon Quest on there still to play, and I don't know. But Kirby, that Kirby game is free if anybody cares. The Kirby Clashes. It's like a Kirby. It's like a Super Smash Brothers for Kirby's. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to inebriated fitness.
Yeah.
Flex is an exercise physiologist with a BS in exercise and sports science. He is a certified CSCS strength conditioning coach and a CISSN sports nutritionist, sports injury specialist, and currently an MMA weight cut specialist and nutritionist and Vibes personal trainer. The coffee effect. Now, coffee is a brewed drink prepared from roasted coffee beans, the seeds of berries from certain Coffea species. Once ripe, coffee berries are picked, processed, and dried. Dried coffee seeds, referred to as beans, are roasted to varying degrees depending upon the desired flavor. It helps to get people's blood moving and makes them feel energized. Research has shown that coffee makes the colon 60% more active than water by promoting contractions in the colon to push contents toward the rectum, which is the final section of your digestive tract, thus promoting a bowel movement. All right, so the coffee effect. Darth motherfucking Flex.
Wow. I don't know why I missed that rectum, the bowel movement part. That's not what I'm covering, but
But whenever
no, yeah, you're right.
Think about coffee. It's two things. It's blood pumping and it makes you go poop. So, and I always think about that. That's another reason why I don't drink coffee because it immediately. It's a diuretic for me immediately. So.
Well, coffee's not a diuretic. First of all, get your shit together.
For me, it is.
It's not. No, it's maybe because you just drink a bunch of liquor. That's what it is. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Would you give your children coffee?
Absolutely not.
Bonzo, if you had children, would you give your children coffee?
I would, but not in large doses.
Okay.
May I ask why not? 5 and then Garbanzo.
Oh, me? Oh, because I don't. It's the same reason why I wouldn't have them drink any energy drinks or anything that's high in caffeine. I don't think they need it. For me, there's no reason why kids should be drinking coffee, especially when it's allegedly addictive. So that's.
But you don't think it's bad for them, right?
Do I think it's bad for them? I don't know if it's bad for them, but I don't think it's a good idea to have them drinking it at a young age. That's just how I feel. I don't think coffee's bad technically, but because I know it's habit forming and because I know it has an effect on your heart rate sometimes, and things like that has a measurable and immediate body response. I don't think you should be giving it to kids. That's just what I think.
My main concern actually, and this is horrible. It has
you don't want your kids pooping all over the place. I understand.
I don't want my kids running around all hopped up on coffee all day long because I'm not gonna be able to keep up. So that's the only reason I would give them large amounts of coffee. But like I was raised with a little bit of Cuban coffee with milk in the mornings for breakfast. So I mean, I don't foresee any issue with that kind of giving your kid a little bit of coffee. I just wouldn't do it intravenously or anything.
What the fuck would, man? That's
I'm just saying.
Okay, so coffee. This is probably one of the very few things I will present observational studies for you because normally I like my facts. I'm not a vegan and I'm not a CrossFitter, so I normally do not use observational studies.
Shade.
But
how do you really feel?
It's true.
But that's why we need observational studies, just so you can look at things and say, okay, this is probably what's going on without actually affecting people's life too drastically or getting a large population for subjects. But
absolutely,
coffee has led to, so it has people. Let's see now. Let me phrase this properly. Scientists have. What the fuck is that? Okay, so they have been led to think that or believe that coffee has positive effects on the heart as far as health.
You said positive?
Positive, yes.
Okay.
Because having a fast heartbeat, that's not a bad thing unless you're already unhealthy yourself or have some kind of pre-existing heart disease or some kind of condition. Okay. Now, in the sense of longevity and just cardiovascular health, not endurance, cardiovascular health, meaning the function of your cardiac with your heart, and then vascular is your vascular system, which is all your veins, arteries, capillaries, and so on.
Okay.
Okay. Coffee, and we're not discussing caffeine yet. We're just discussing coffee, the drink itself. We'll get into the caffeine of the coffee briefly or shortly.
Or allegedly.
So coffee has also been. This is actually not observation. This is you can reproduce this in a study. I mean, it's a fairly easy study because the delivery of coffee is pretty easy. The rate of 30 minutes, you should feel results from coffee. So, and that's amongst many ergogenic aids. Coffee is an ergogenic aid. What does ergogenic mean? Ergogenic means it helps you, in layman's term, it helps you be better. It helps you perform better. Okay.
Wait. What kind of performance?
Actually, it does apply to that wink that you just gave me.
Hell yeah.
Because if you want to talk about vascular delivery and then vascularity, so coffee can also help with a little bit of vasodilation, which is the main purpose of something like Viagra or Cialis. But I digress. Now,
gotcha.
Coffee has a... what the fuck? That's so rude. I'm over here talking and this motherfucker leaves. I should kill him. Han shot first. Now... I kind of want... Okay, he's back because I wanted to hear this part. So it has been shown in studies that coffee does have a positive effect on lipolysis. What's lipolysis? That's the transportation of fatty acids. Okay. So in any road to weight loss, coffee is always recommended. Not needed, but it is recommended. It's a supplement. Just like anything else, you don't need it, but it will help you. Unless, again, you have some kind of pre-existing condition, not caused by coffee, but just your genetics or anything else that you run on yourself.
Are we referring to coffee as in coffee or just the caffeine in coffee? Because can't tea...
We haven't gotten into the caffeine yet. I just said that earlier. Right now I'm talking about coffee. We'll get into the caffeine shortly.
No, what I'm saying is that are you saying... You just said that coffee is recommended but not required to help with whatever you just said. So I'm saying, is it because it's coffee? Is that the reason why? Or
because it's coffee. You can get similar results from something like green tea. It's not as potent.
Okay.
Green tea has other benefits as well that you can definitely use. Specifically, the green tea leaf has something called ACG, which also helps in transports of fatty acids. But back to coffee.
Okay.
So coffee is helpful with losing fat, so it is recommended. Now, this is coffee, black coffee without sugar. I don't drink coffee with sugar because I just don't like sugar personally. But if you're going to sweeten it, I would use something like stevia or honey. But I mean, this is in Starbucks. You're pretty much getting sugar milk and stuff there. I mean, like actual coffee.
Coffee, Jesus.
Coffee also helps if you're fasting. Right, and I'm sure you read this in an article.
Yes,
I said that it does help suppress hunger pangs when you're beginning to fast, especially when it's hot. Just because the way the hormones react to it within your stomach, those two hormones are ghrelin and leptin, the hunger and satiety hormone. So it also does have a positive effect in that, assuming your goal is to not feel hungry. Okay.
Tea helps with that too.
It does help actually, and that's because of the ACG and the heat. Okay. Another benefit with coffee is that it helps. Well, actually, no, this is going to be coffee and caffeine, but let's just go right into the caffeine now. Okay. Oh, and just so we're clear, there is no negative side effects to coffee with normal dosing, right? Anything can be overdosed and anything can be bad for you in a certain amount of doses, right? I mean, if you, like, for sure, when it comes to coffee or any kind of caffeine, for sure, like, you do not want to exceed 600 milligrams. I wouldn't even go over 300 milligrams, but 600 milligrams something you do not want to exceed. It is also banned by most athletic commissions. So if you pop for 600 milligrams of caffeine, that is considered a performance-enhancing drug. So you want to be careful with that as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like to give you an example, one Bang, I believe. Ooh, how much is the Bang? I think Bang might have like a 250 milligrams of caffeine, something like that.
What?
Something crazy. Yeah, could be 100, could be 200. I don't remember exactly the number. Coffee, for you to get 600 milligrams, you got to drink like 20 cups of coffee. So you don't have to worry about the coffee. But now going into the caffeine within the coffee. Caffeine also has its benefits in weight loss, in cognitive focus. So it's in essence, it is a nootropic. So it does help brain health and brain function. Okay, it helps you. Yes, it can make you hyper, but it's more so that you're not focused on a task, right? Like an example that can be very easily reproduced that I go into the lab is work out without coffee, okay, and then drink coffee 30 minutes to an hour before working out. You're fucking on. Like if you're focused on that workout, you're fucking getting that workout. Okay? Because your central nervous system is stimulated to get that shit going, and your mind, your thoughts are just on that workout because it is a nootropic. It does help your cognitive performance. So it's good for gaming. So you could very easily just take caffeine pills that have the same effect. It's just much more potent, and I would kind of take it easy on that.
Do the caffeine pills also provide the same benefit for weight loss?
Yes, though you'll get much better results from drinking just coffee because you get the best of both worlds, and the delivery is much faster because your stomach does have to break that pill down versus coffee. The liquid is already in there; it's already pre-digested, and you just spread it out through your stomach once you start taking nutrients from it. Okay. Caffeine has also been shown in studies to increase the pain threshold. Not significantly, like, I mean, a punch in the face is supposed to be a punch in the face, but it does have its benefits. I mean, it's like a 13% increase, which statistically that is significant if you're into statistics or any kind of studies. So it is good for contact sports. It is good for like pain, like let's say you have knee pain or back pain. It won't take it away. It's not a painkiller, but it will help you kind of. It'll just kind of put some armor on your skin. It'll give you thicker skin. Okay. Caffeine also is an excellent source for a pre-workout. I don't buy pre-workouts. I like making my own pre-workouts. This is what I normally do. I'll grab a cup of coffee, 5 grams of creatine, 5 grams of beta-alanine, the OG.
That's right.
And 5 grams of citrulline malate. Mix that up. Tastes disgusting. Chug it, and then I'm ready to go. Like I'm getting that workout in I'm getting a good pump. I'm getting great vasodilation. I'm getting really good NO pathways opening up within my system. It's just to get everything delivered to my muscles so I can perform.
Can you send me that whatever you just said? I'd love to try that and add that to my whatever. Because I work out twice a day now, and again I'm dragging ass every time I go to the gym. It'd be great if I could find something that will help me not drag ass, and maybe it will help increase the weight loss or whatever it is. So yeah, let me get that and let me
full disclosure. It tastes like shit, but I shoot it fast. I barely notice it.
But how much? Like 8 ounces or?
I think I do like. What's a cup of coffee? A coffee mug, not a big one, like a small one.
About 8 ounces. Yeah.
So I'll do like 6 or 4. It depends. It's never full because it'll spill when I mix it.
Oh, okay. So about half. That's not bad. I mean, I've had worse.
Yeah. Nah, it tastes like real tart because of the amino acids in it. But I mean, it gets me where I gotta go.
It can't be any worse than my apple cider vinegar concoction that I be drinking in the mornings.
That stuff is supposed to be amazing for you, though.
But I mean, if you can go through it. But the reason I do it is because it's incredibly efficient and cost effective. Like, I mean, it's much cheaper if you know what you're doing to buy the ingredients by yourself and mix them, rather than buying some bullshit overpriced flavored pre-workout.
No, yeah, that's why I'm absolutely curious because I mean, and when you mix it, you mix the 4 to 6 ounces there, or you can make a batch in advance and just shake it up and pour it out, or does it go bad?
It doesn't go bad. Now, I like it hot. I like to drink it hot.
I mean, that's what she said.
The thing is, so the citrulline malate is hydrophobic, so it doesn't bind to water, right?
Okay.
It's similar to fat, but it's different, and it clumps up. Okay, so it probably won't be great in a shaker. It'll probably get stuck on the walls of your shaker. That's why I use the coffee cup.
Okay.
And the creatine does not dissolve. It's just very fine powder. You kind of just got to shoot down like if what you would imagine, it's like baby powder that does not dissolve.
Okay. That's
Really,
disgusting.
yeah, that's.
That's
But
terrible.
I do it because it's fast. It's better than when with the stuff you buy, and you save a lot more money because your supplements go a much longer way because you're dosing everything yourself, and you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. The good thing about like amino acids and supplements is there's only one ingredient to the single supplements, so it doesn't matter what brand you buy. I mean, creatine is creatine. Of course, I wouldn't get it from Walmart because supplements are not governed by the FDA. So technically, they could bullshit you and say it's just creatine, but it's really like, I don't know, bacon powder.
Okay. So where do you get it from? You don't tell me GNC.
Fuck GNC. No, I go to either bodybuilding.com.
Oh, you
Like,
order it. Okay.
Yeah, I do it online, like from reputable sites, and not so much for me, but for the people I work with, I always try to get third-party tested supplements just to make sure they're not tainted with any steroids, like especially if they're made in China or Mexico.
Okay.
But I mean, for someone like you and me, it doesn't really matter because we're not competing in any athletic.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but I don't want any steroids. I mean, it's not gonna.
Say that now.
Exactly.
Then all of a sudden you're like, why is this one different?
Anger. Yeah.
But yes, my final words on coffee. It's great. I personally, I drink one of these. I drink a liter a day in the morning. I do like black coffee. I have various different types of coffee, and I like my coffee like I like my men, bitter and black. But I have different roasts. For me personally, I like the darker roast. It's a higher concentration. It makes me focus more. It gives me a warm feeling inside. And it's crazy because whenever I go to work, I put a little pad in my back pocket. That's because as soon as I started drinking this, I started getting ideas. I started focusing on what I can do better, and I just write it down. And it helps me wake up. I mean, that's a great thing. Though, here are a couple disclosures. If you are caffeine naive, meaning that you're very sensitive to caffeine, I would recommend trying small doses of coffee and different types and so on. I personally wouldn't recommend decaf because all decaf is just dirty water. If you're going to drink coffee for the benefits. As far as your heart rate going up, it doesn't go up. My heart rate may go up by like 10 beats per minute. That's it. So it puts me at 60 beats a minute. My resting heart rate's about 45, 50 beats per minute. And then with the coffee, it'll probably get to 60, 65. So if you think you have tachycardia, people are like, oh my God, I have tachycardia. Most people who think they have tachycardia really don't. They're just not used to having a high heart rate because they probably don't do much.
Right.
So again, unless you have a pre-existing condition or any cardiac disease, for sure, you need to be careful with that. But by itself, it shouldn't do any harm. If you're caffeine naive, again, just kind of, you can get used to it. You can get, to certainly stop being caffeine naive. The taste, I actually like it. It tastes like strong tea to me without sugar. The only reason is if you're drinking coffee for its health benefits, putting sugar and milk and all that stuff in, it kind of just pretty much defeats the purpose, right?
Right. Well, that's why I drink.
I also like
flat flavorless tea.
Yeah, I love green and black tea without sugar, especially the southern black tea with a little bit of the spices. It's just oil.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. I like to drink this when I write as well too. It just gets everything flowing. But I mean, I do recommend it. I recommend it as a pre-workout. I recommend it as a beginning of the day kind of thing. I absolutely recommend it if you are intermittent fasting, as by itself, it will not break your fast and it would actually get you through your fasting window.
Coffee has no calories?
Has 0 calories.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Like plain coffee. Real plain coffee.
Right, no, of course, right. Plain coffee itself.
0,
I did not know that.
0 calories. 0 calories. And, I mean, you don't need to drink it, but I do recommend it. I mean, my opinion, it makes things better, and a lot of studies show that it does have a lot of positive benefits when not abused, like anything else. If you don't abuse it, use it properly, it's gonna get you where you need to go, your benefits or positive outcomes.
Excellent, perfect. All right, well, thank you, sir. If you want
That's
more
super interesting. Actually, I'm
fitness
not gonna lie.
if you want more fitness and nutrition tips, or you like to see some of those sweet UFC posts, and by the way, all his UFC fighter trainer people, they look so mean. I have to be real. I look at his post, and I'm like, you're mean looking, you look mean.
It's funny because they're all nicer than you, man. And like, it's funny because I have never seen more men cry than I have with these male fighters.
Really?
They cry a lot. I mean, it's an emotional sport,
Aw, that's so sweet.
I like
Okay.
them already.
Follow this man here on Instagram. That's Darth_Flex, DARTH_FLEXX. We're gonna move on to Garbanzo's Corner: Work Life and Gaming Balance. Now, work-life balance is a term commonly used to describe the balance that is working individuals need between time allotted for work and other specific aspects of life. Areas of life other than work life can include personal interests, family, social, leisure, podcasts, and of course gaming. So Garbanzo, suck it to us.
Okay. In today's society, we work a lot more, play a lot less, for the most part. And I think I'm specifically speaking to like the post Gen X, pre-millennial group that I'm currently in.
Understood.
That most of us are we're in our 30s, and
That we are.
we spend so much time trying to pay back the student loans by working our butts off and putting in the 12 hours a day at work, working sometimes 6 days a week.
Speak for yourself.
With hectic schedules. Like I said, there's a lot more of me than there are of you, buddy. Sadly to say that you are part of the minority. Companies have now cut back on staffing by adding hours to salaried employees. It's like just in the whole hotel industry and hospitality industry. Perfect example would be average work day for a salaried employee, regardless of title, is 10 hours, and that's minimum. That's what's expected. That's not what it's hoped for, but expected. So if you try to do your 8 hours, technically you didn't do enough work for that day. So
that's crazy on so many levels.
So the 8-hour workday is now gone for most people in the hospitality industry.
My understanding isn't that illegal if you're not being compensated over 8 hours? I thought you're not allowed to work over what? When you're shaking your head as in what? That's not illegal?
It's not illegal.
There's some kind of regulations. There has to be.
Yeah, for underage, for people under the age of 18.
Huh. Something doesn't seem right about that.
And no, it's about hourly staff. You're talking about hourly staff. Yes, absolutely. Hourly staff are
right, but I don't believe. I'm pretty sure there's got to be litigation that do not allow salary employees to be abused.
There is nothing, sir.
Because then you're not getting compensated for the additional work beyond a typical 8-hour work shift. Especially if you choose to work more than 8 hours or more than 40 hours a week, that's of course. But if you're telling me it's mandatory now to work 50 hours a week with no additional compensation because you're salaried,
your compensation is included into your salary.
You're telling me there's your salary and then there's your like a bonus hazard pay for overtime?
No, there's your salary includes that time.
Allegedly.
It's in writing.
Where that you're getting 50,000. I don't know about that.
It's like I'll give you a great example.
I'm not making this up. I'm letting you know because I've seen the contracts myself personally. Like it actually says there what's expected for this pay. And you sign off. It
better be some damn good pay then. I mean, some damn good pay because I'm not going to be working for no $35, $40, maybe even $50,000, and saying that I have to work minimum 50 hours a week. That doesn't make any sense to me. So carry on though.
So anyways, to kind of just, 'cause I know that I don't want to dwell too much on this. The point of this conversation is because there's a lot more work out there. Most of us just come home and we don't actually get a chance to detox as well as we want to. So, and I kind of wanted to have this discussion referencing to the importance of it, of finding that balance. It ends up you end up becoming and just talking to your superiors or talking to your boss or your director of HR, whoever it is, that if you start feeling like you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed, ask for help. Feel free to go to HR or say something, or even tell your boss, "I need to take a day off. I got to reset. I'm a little overwhelmed with everything going on. It's just I just need a personal day. I'll be back to work tomorrow. We'll start again from scratch." There's nothing wrong with that. I know the problem is that there's the generation before us sees that. Um, and I've had this personally happen to me, where it's like, "What do you mean you need a personal day to reset? You're not a computer." I go, "Well, listen, bro, you're treating me like a machine, so this is what happens." Um, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most HRs actually are very big on mental health and taking a mental health day if you need it, or even just a personal day. That's why you earned that time, and you should take it if you need it. Also, when you get home, try to disconnect, try to enjoy the time around with your family, and actually live. Go out, see the sun, uh,
Hang
go to
out
the
with your
beach,
friends,
hang out with hang out with some
Yeah,
friends if you
hang out
can.
with some friends.
Go see
Hang out with some friends.
hang out with some family.
Hang out with some
I don't know.
friends. Yeah.
Show up. Have events at your place like Taco
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes. Go to 10th of a Tavern. Come over to your buddy's place and record. Yeah, I totally agree.
And then and then also find time for yourself. Whether it's gaming, whether it's writing, watching movies, watching TV, or just you know testing out the full depths of Pornhub. It's personal. It's
It's
whatever you
so
want to do.
funny. I was just about to say a rub one out. I was just
Yeah,
about to say, me and you, Garbanzo, we're on the same page today. We definitely
it's
are. I like that. I like that.
apparently
We're on the
so.
same page today. Yes.
But
Yes.
I just want to I don't want, again, the reason why I want to talk about this today was it's just because I want to reiterate the importance of it. Um, I in the past have not given myself time to relax or reset,
I agree.
and I've burned out, and it's caused me a lot of heartache and headache with my professional life, and I've since learned to take a step back when you need to, and then move, before reevaluate what you need and ask for help. So, just like I said, rest, relax, reset,
What
and
would you say? What would you say to a listener right now,
mhm.
but to get burnt out? But in their particular field, it is frowned upon to take personal time. It is frowned upon to feign weakness. It is frowned upon to ask for help. What would you say to them? It's not a policy, but the general aura. It is frowned upon. What would you tell them?
Tell them not to care.
Oh,
It doesn't.
ballsy.
It doesn't. The thing is that your work speaks for itself.
Mm,
You know, when you're at work, bust your ass, man. Your name is everything. Your reputation is everything in this, and especially in my industry. Reputation is huge, and any small little deviation of a stellar reputation, and it can completely derail someone's career. Um, but just let your work speak for itself. Let as a personality, your personality come through. But be honest. Be forthright with it, because in my industry, it is very much frowned upon to call out. It is very much frowned upon to take a personal day. They expect. I mean, sometimes you're expected to work three different shifts in all in one week. And what I mean by working three different shifts, like you come do a morning shift one day, two afternoon shifts another, and then you round out the end with with working some overnights, all in the same pay week, which it's detrimental on your sleep pattern, and
mhm.
but it sometimes it happens in my industry, and it has to be done. Now, does it mean that, you know, um, I can't speak up and say, "Hey, listen, I need an extra day off here. I need you guys to help me out with that." people will do it because, again, if they don't, then you need to go speak to your HR. It's that simple. Human resources is there for you, not just for the company. So they're just make sure you follow the rules and do that. But the big thing is to try to make sure to take the time when you're home to disconnect, rest, spend time with your family. Whether your family be Inuyasha on Crunchyroll or watching Yamcha get his ass kicked over and over again on Dragon Ball, or watching Freddie Prince play Fred on Scooby Doo, or you're watching some old movies or whatever it is. Whatever you do to relax, then just do it. Or just or to watch Bridget the Midget on and some of her favorite absolute favorite movies out there. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then well, Google's your best friend.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. That is Garbanzo's Corner. Now, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, or you'd like to offer some ideas, by all means, email us at geekbros@yahoo.com, and I'm absolutely certain the man Garbanzo would love to discuss a topic of your choosing because we're here for you, and he's absolutely here for you. Make sure you start the email with Dear Garbanzo. It has to be Dear Garbanzo, because when we read it, we want to hear that childlike voice. We want you to express your inner child. Dear Garbanzo.
Dear Garbanzo, thank you.
What is Midget Bridget? All right, so we're moving on to Gadgets Are Us. Disney and Apple won't let you binge watch. Now, this article comes from yahoo.com/news. Netflix completely changed the way we consume television shows. Instead of waiting for new episodes every week, binge watching 3 or 4 episodes, or even an entire season is now a weekly event at the homes. But Disney and Apple aren't on board with binge watching. Disney's plan is to release episodes for Disney Plus originals on a weekly schedule. Hulu, of which Disney owns a majority share, releases 3 episodes to premiere a series before releasing new episodes weekly. Apple is considering the same schedule for Apple TV. So it's obvious why they're doing this, because that's the only way to retain individual customers. Basically, CBS All Access does it too, where basically, even though you're getting a streaming service, you're still constrained to a network TV schedule, maybe plus or minus any commercials. That's why I'm saying that streaming services make no blasted sense to me, because if you're going to do a streaming service, that's just going to be literally a one fee, a month for basically one channel. That's really what it is, and you're following a weekly schedule like regular broadcast TV. Then why are we even trying this? How do you guys feel about this? And by the way, that's actually the next article. How this is impacting Netflix? What do you guys feel about this? The model of weekly releases as opposed to the standard set by Netflix.
Okay. The problem is that it's an ongoing trend. DC Universe is doing it. Hulu.
But Hulu was doing it because Hulu was streaming actual TV shows from TV.
I understand.
Get that. That I always understood.
I understand, but the whole thing is that they've been doing it. They've been doing it from my understanding. They actually did some of their own shows too, even the ones that aren't being on TV. So, my whole thing is that it was bound to happen. The good times were there while we had them, and now they've gone to show that this is for retention only. So instead of having to come up with new products, So instead of having to come up with new products, where like Netflix would be forced to make sure they have plenty of content and plenty of new content, so people would stream it and then they'd come back and watch it again from beginning to end, and then go back and watch it 2 or 3 other times. Now and that novelty is now worn off. People are like, well, I don't care. The DC Universe has proven it that people don't care. The Hulu has proven it, so they might as well why not just join the circus?
Yeah, but it's so capitalistic. I mean, I don't know if you guys actually researched the Disney release schedule, where especially for the Marvel things, they literally have them. No 2 Marvel programs are coming out at the same time. After one Marvel program ends, then the next one starts. Literally the next week, and then after that one ends, then the next week starts, and it keeps you stuck. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, but it's disheartening at the same time because I honestly don't want to wait, but it looks like I'll do what I have to do
Listen,
with CBS All
you know what
Access.
I will be doing? I'll be binging DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Tailspin in between the rest of the seasons. I'm
That is
cool.
true.
I got plenty of
Flex,
stuff to watch.
how do you feel about the loss of the binge culture?
It kind of sucks, but when Netflix first came out, I was watching shows like Blue Mountain State, which were released weekly on Netflix. This wasn't a Netflix TV show, but this is before Netflix had the originals, and I was watching many shows on week by week basis on Netflix. I mean, it sucks that we're gonna lose it. If we do, we do. I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't pay for my Netflix account, so.
Cool. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to this because this is actually something that's bugging me now. This article also comes from Yahoo.com/news. Sorry, binge lovers. Some of Netflix's newest shows won't be released as full seasons anymore. Yeah, that's happening. Netflix is soon to face some of its toughest challenges yet, thanks in part to the imminent launch of November's Disney Plus and with the massive pile of streaming content that's already
I
assembling
cannot
for massive.
wait.
One of the aspects of Disney Plus user experience have yet to talk about is like the Mandalorian, stuff like that. But basically, fans of the show, it's called the Great British Baking Show, for example. If who fired up their Netflix app today, they search for the episodes and it's gonna be weekly. It says the images of future episodes are there, but new episodes coming every Friday. Yep. So
No.
they're actually right now currently, and another one I think is a Cardi B Chance the Rapper Ti show following the same.
Oh, well, whatever.
It's called Rhythm and Flow.
Yeah.
There's certain shows that they're experimenting on the weekly release with to see what about the backlash. Guys, they're about to change the binge culture, and they're reacting to what's going on with, of course, Apple TV and most definitely Disney Plus. So not only is our those contents going to be weekly, but they're now they're taking with the binge watching aspect, future TV shows. Like I'm telling you right now, I will bet money on this that when Stranger Things comes out the next season, that will not be a fully dropped season show. It's going to be a weekly. They're going to release that thing weekly, guaranteed.
Oh, I believe it as well.
And that sucks. You know what I'm saying? So how do you guys really feel now that it's obvious that Netflix in a year's time, Netflix will not be the Netflix that we know of.
It is. I mean, the world has to adapt one way or the other. So all they're doing is they're what's the word? Copying the rest of them. Make sure everything's all the same.
Yeah, I mean, survival of fittest. Netflix does not want to be the blockbuster of the rental community, So I get it. I get what they're doing. It's just, that was the draw for Netflix. When your new show came out, you watched it at your leisure. That's it. It all dropped. You can watch it all at one time, or you can watch it other times. And I never, even though I don't use Netflix as nearly as much as I want to, I've never unsubscribed from Netflix. It's still there. Actually, they're making free money off of me some months because I don't ever use it until something good pops out, then I binge watch it. That's why I leave my Netflix, because you never knew when something was going to drop. They drop it randomly everywhere. It's not like, oh, it's October, it's a new season. No, you never know when it does come out. I want to make sure that I already have access to it. I don't need to sign up for it. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that are like that have their Netflix subscription. They leave it out just for certain shows to return, and then that's it. Flex.
Honestly, just me personally, with the way my schedule is, I'm probably going to end up being so far behind all the shows that I would watch that I'm going to end up watching them anyways. Again, this is just me personally. I don't see like it's not going to be that big of an issue because, again, I've rarely watched any shows on like their actual releases. It's always a week, 2 or 3 later on. So, I mean, obviously, to have the opportunity to watch it at my leisure, but that's just a very small part of my life that I ever actually do get an opportunity. So again, it won't make that huge of an impact, but I can understand how there are many people, especially those who work from home, that have that luxury. Now they won't have it. So it is kind of unfortunate for them.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens, but you heard it first. Vibe says that the new season of Stranger Things will be weekly, and that is, very, very, very sad. We're going to move on now to Open Mic.
Open mic.
Anybody? Thank you so much. The Mandalorian to explore the origins of the First Order. This article comes from yahoo.com/entertainment. The Mandalorian is going to fill in some of the backstory of the big mystery in the current Star Wars trilogy. The upcoming Disney Plus series is set to explore the early origins of the First Order, the dictatorship commanded by Supreme Leader Snoke that rose up in excess of the falling Galactic Empire that was defeated in Return of the Jedi. This doesn't turn into a good guy universe because you blew up 2 Death Stars. The Mandalorian director Dave Filoni quipped. You get that the rebels won and they're trying to establish a republic, but there's no way that it could be set for everybody all at once. So you have a Western out here where the frontier might be like Washington, but you have some marshals out there, and sometimes it's good luck finding one. So I'm glad about this whatsoever. I mean, I know we touched about this before, but I'm absolutely thrilled that we're going to get some of that thing, because I think that the most interesting part about the new trilogy is the 30 years that we're missing, for me, to be honest with you. Force Awakens is great. You guys know how I feel about Last Jedi and Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker, who knows. But what I'm more interested in is how we got from Return of the Jedi to where we are with Force Awakens. And so anything, and I mean anything, any piece of media, except for Star Wars Resistance, that was terrible. Any piece of media that covers that 30 years is great for me. So I want to see The Mandalorian because I was dying to see something different, something refreshing. And now the fact that it's gonna cover or it's gonna touch on, even if it's just a tip, I'm thrilled to death. I'm even more down. Gentlemen, how you guys feel about it? Garbanzo.
I'm really super excited about it. I know that there's been a couple of the books that have kind of hinted towards the inklings of the First Order.
Yeah. Well,
so having
what inklings of the First Order? In which books?
Are you kidding? There's actually the ones that talk about the journey to.
Because I mean, they had. They've had. Bloodline talked about the 30 years. You had the Aftermath books that talked about just after Return of the Jedi.
One that had Leia in it, specifically the one that had Leia in it.
Which one, the Bloodline?
Because I'm telling you right now, there was one that specifically had Leia in it.
Well,
I'm looking it up right now.
That's Bloodline, but I don't think Bloodline was discussing how she was trying to tell the New Republic the First Order was a threat, but it didn't actually get into why they were a threat or how they began. But I don't remember any real books like really touching upon. I mean, maybe Phasma, but Phasma was more her story than it was
the First Order story.
The First Order story.
And a book for Battlefront 2 also goes into the idea of orders, the ending of basically what happens after, and so does what's it called when the Empire decides that the Emperor decides even after his death to destroy everything.
Well, yeah, Operation Cinder. Yes. I get you. Which is great.
Right now, I think Operation Cinder may have, is the beginning of the First Order.
No, absolutely. It was a contingency plan by the Emperor to punish the galaxy for losing him, and then to also weed out the weak and the disloyal of the Empire, to leave only the cream of the crop to go disappear into the unknown regions, which is great. But the actual rise of the First Order, all we know is the end. We know that Palpatine's Star Destroyer, the Eclipse, is out there, but that's as far as we got when it came to the rise of the First Order. We know the end of the Empire, but I don't think anything's ever actually touched on it. The rise of the First Order. I think this is probably the first thing that actually said, yes, we're touching on the rise of the First Order. So, and I'm thrilled to death about it. I can't wait. I'm more excited about this than I am about Star Wars Episode 9, honestly, because I can't wait to do our countdown to Star Wars Episode 9 series. That's gonna be fun. You're gonna watch me go from elated to just depressed and sad all in one beat.
Oh, stop.
Darflex, The Mandalorian, touching on the First Order. Do you care?
I wanted to touch on my First Order.
Yes. I want to watch on Pornhub.
Let's see. Do I care as in I need this?
Yes.
No, I don't, because I think it's going to be fucking gangster regardless. If they do, great. I mean, I don't think it's going to be like something heavy within the series.
No, I don't think so either. I think it's
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing Matt Damon in Euro Trip. Like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. That's a good analogy. All right, well, we'll see. Can't wait. Man, when this show comes out, we're gonna review this show since it's coming out weekly anyway. I think we should review it weekly. Why the hell not? Every episode, just review it. We'll put it on there. So just so you guys know when it comes out. November, suckers. It would be great if the Geek Bros would join me in a watch party for the first episode somewhere, whether it's my place or one of their places. That'd be
I will.
great with some proper 12. You know, maybe film an EVA review. I'll buy the proper 12.
Maybe.
You know, and I'll make some fresh ginger beer. So yes,
There
I
you go.
will. I'll make some fresh, I'll grate real ginger and make some fresh ginger beer. All you know, so just letting you guys know.
I forgot to mention this. I will be, hopefully if everything goes well, be visiting Galaxy's Edge in a few weeks.
Dude, if you do that, you have to record.
Yeah.
You have to record. You have to record a lot, and you have to do your own like mini episode on its own and give that to me, and I have to edit that immediately. So I want you to know that if you do that on your phone, I don't care, as best as you can. But if you need to record, you got to give me a good solid at least 10 to 15 minutes of raw footage to edit down. I need that. I need that now. I need that in my life. I need it in my veins. Okay, just
soon. Hopefully soon. I'll keep you updated as events happen.
The minute you make that decision, I have just a few, not instructions, but requests that and just so you go up there. So in between having your fun, you get these shots. Shoot, I'm talking about. I need you to do a 360 walk around the Millennium Falcon with your phone as static as possible, horizontal landscape.
Remember,
I
I have my gimbal, so don't worry about that.
on your gimbal, and I want a 360. I'm talking about you're going to pan like this all the way around. The shot, I speed that sucker up. It'll be anyway. Moving on. Exactly right, isn't it, man? I'm a filmmaker who's stuck doing just podcasts now, so I'm hurting inside. All right, so we're gonna move on to Robert Pattinson was fucking furious when his Batman casting was leaked. Now this comes from Yahoo.com/entertainment. Robert Pattinson was not pleased when news got out that he was set to portray Batman. It says, when that thing leaked, I was fucking furious. The 33-year-old actor tells Variety in a recent cover story. Everyone was so upset. Everyone was panicked from my team, and I sort of thought that had blown the whole thing up. The May leak revealed that Pattinson would join them. Would put on the Batsuit of Matt Reeves' upcoming film came prematurely as the actor hadn't even auditioned for the part yet when the news broke. He said it was terrifying when it was leaked. So he basically said, "Oh fuck, this is all screwed up." So I mean, and it's funny because I wonder if that's the reason why. Because we reported on this. We reported on this a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and then they said that he did not do it.
That he was out because of scheduling conflicts, and now he's back in. And the only reason why I know he's back in is because of this article. So I'm thinking that they said he's out because of scheduling conflicts to shut everybody up for a little bit. And then when he finally got it, they brought it back out. So I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, honestly, I understand that they may want the whole secrecy thing, whatever, but I don't see a reason why it's such a big deal.
Well, you saw the backlash because we were like, no, Robert Pattinson. He probably didn't want to go through what happened with Ben Affleck.
I mean, I think right now the newest Joker that just came out is reported as being one of the biggest Batman movies ever.
Did the Joker come out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm jumping back to.
Wait, no, not correction.
No, are you sure? Because I don't.
No, hold on. Let me tell you right now. I don't think it has. It's already been. It's been
reviewed, yes, but Joker movie release date. I know me. I looked up.
I think it's coming out like.
It's coming out soon, super soon. It's coming out
October 4th. Only a few weeks away.
Good. Go a few weeks away. I was wondering because I know for a fact.
They're giving it a 9.6 on IMDb.
I would like us to go
and a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, yeah,
a 75 on Metacritic. Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Right, and I'd love it if we all got together and checked this movie out and reviewed it real quick because we haven't done a DC movie in a while. I mean, unfortunately, we don't do much DC news on the podcast. So it's obvious that I mean, I do.
Is Patterson in this one?
There is a rumor that the Joker movie that's coming out is a prequel to Patterson's Batman. So that's the thing that they're building is another kind of
Okay.
alternate universe kind of thing. So that's the theory. The theory. Don't come at me. So
Well,
yeah,
De
Flex.
Niro's in it.
Anything you want to say about? Yeah, he's playing some weird guy. I'm not digging it. I don't like when he's overly comedic. I like when he's more like a hard ass, and his comedy comes from his hard assness.
Wait. Hold on, gentlemen. Give me one quick second.
Flex, what do you think about what I just said about something about Patterson and Cass?
What the hell?
Fuck Robert Pattinson.
Understood. What are you reading right now that's making you go, what the hell?
Alfred's in the movie.
Yeah, I mean he would be in a movie.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's played.
I wasn't expecting Alfred and a young Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
That's
young Bruce Wayne was in the first trailer. That little kid through the gates that he was making his mouth smile. We always thought that was Bruce Wayne. I wasn't surprised about that.
I didn't. I never really paid attention to. I didn't. I didn't really pay attention to this freaking trailer.
Oh wow!
Because I was like blah about it. I was like,
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Whatever.
All right, we're gonna move on to are Sony and Disney renegotiating over Spider-Man. This comes from CheatSheet.com. Marvel fans are still reeling from the events that transpired in Avengers Endgame, and we are all anxious waiting to see where the MCU does next. So basically, Sony and Disney couldn't come to a financial agreement with Spider-Man, and they're now preparing to part ways. While Tom Holland stated he plans on continuing to play the hero, fans are outraged by the split. So it was a financial agreement. However, even though they said it's over, and since the two companies can't agree, it seems that they're both deciding that it was best for Spider-Man to leave the MCU. And both Holland and Kevin Feige have come to terms with it. This being that it was 5 years, never meant to last. However, there's a however, but I can't find it. Is this really it for Sony and Disney in regards? Well, according to We Got This Covered, there could be hope in the horizons. The publication notes that while the hero is currently out of the MCU, there's still time for renegotiations to happen. Disney allegedly has until the middle of 2020 to make a new deal with Sony that they both can agree upon. The publication notes that by mid-2020, Sony will be working on the third installment of Holland Spider-Man. Okay. So there's still time. Do you guys think, it's the only question, that they're going to come to a deal before that third Spider-Man goes into production? What do you think? Darflex?
Yes. I have no reason to explain why. That's how
you feel?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Garbanzo?
Nope.
Really? Well, why do you say no?
I think that they are going to. Here's the thing. Right now, Sony is hopped up on some good smack, and they believe that they can do it without him.
Yes.
Without Marvel, which is fine. Now, I don't think it's going to happen right away. I think that either Sony's going to succeed.
Yes.
Okay, which is extremely possible. I'm not going to doubt that. They may have to, go the route of DC and go animated to make it succeed. But hey, they're going to succeed. And then that's either going to make Marvel come to terms with the original agreement, or they're going to fail, and they're going to come to terms with Disney's agreement. Either way, eventually the reconciliation I foresee in the future. I just on whose terms, it all depends on what happens next.
I agree with both of you. I agree with both of you. I actually agree with my gut that yes, they are going to renegotiate, but only for Spider-Man 3. Why do I say this? Because it's too fresh for them to do a Spider-Man 3 devoid of the MCU. It's not going to work. I mean, the way, and I think that Kevin Feige and Disney are going to say, listen, fine, you can have Spider-Man back, but at least give us Spider-Man 3. Let's close that arc off that we set up. And at the end of Spider-Man 3, let him jump into some kind of wormhole, and he jumps into your world. And that's it. And we may even let him reference what happened in the past, but only in that movie, and then that's it. I personally think they are going to renegotiate, but only for Spider-Man 3. After that, they're going to close out his arc in the MCU. He's going to jump through the Spider-Verse into the Sonyverse, and he won't be back in the MCU ever again, pretty much, is what I see. So I agree with both of you, but I'm telling you, this is how I feel.
Okay, so you think it's going to be for 3. I think it's going to happen after 3.
No, I think they're going to do it for 3 because, again, 3, they're calling the next Spider-Man movie Spider-Man 3. It's the hottest thing in the world. I just don't see how they're gonna do it, especially when they left it off with a cliffhanger.
And this is why personally I think that
Mhm.
Sony's gonna fail. Now, if Sony does exactly what you just described, they'll win.
Right, but that's the thing though. If they're smart, at all, I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna say, you know what? Yeah, let's do it that way, and I think that's a smart way to do it. Let's close out the MCU. Let's give the fans one more movie, and it's gonna make them look good.
Be honest, man, they don't give a shit about the fans, dude. Let's
Yeah,
just
no,
call it what it
no,
is.
they give a shit about the fans because the fans are what makes the movie. You see what I'm saying? Or that's what pays for it. They have to, and they know that if they're gonna have bad blood, it's gonna hurt their bottom line. I will suck it up if I was Sony and say, you know what? We heard you fans. We're gonna give you guys one more movie in the MCU. Hooray! You guys are fantastic. It's a good PR stunt, by the way. It makes them look good,
It
right?
does.
It makes them
No,
look good,
it would be wise for them to do so.
right?
I just don't think Sony's gonna do it.
I think they are. I think they are because somebody in the PR is gonna say, listen, um,
They're
you
not
know,
gonna do it, dude.
you,
So
you
you're
know, I think it's all set up. It's a PR because you're gonna win favor, and then you know what? They did this for us. They let us close out his arc in the MCU. You know what? Let's see what they're gonna do. We'll go over to Sony because you want to know why? It's loosely connected because he jumps out of the portal and he jumps into a portal at the end of Spider-Man 3 and jumps into a new and comes out of the portal with Spider-Man vs. Venom for Carnage.
okay.
Perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it, and that's what I would do if I was Sony or Disney. Is negotiate for that one more movie. That's it. Negotiate, do it, suck it up, get another billion and a half dollars. Okay, split it how you want to split it. Take that money and funnel it into your Spider Verse, and give that goodwill to the fans, and sucker us into watching all the stuff. So, just saying that's what I see. Um, but hopefully we'll see. But I don't care about Spider-Man being in or out of the MCU. I just care about that loose story thread. Those story threads, they bother the hell out of me. Like the Incredible Hulk. That story bothered the hell out of me. It was the black sheep of the entire MCU until General Ross came back as Secretary Ross, and I'm like, finally, it makes sense. It's at least it's still around. They're not just ignoring it for the sake of ignoring it. Something is coming back. So that's just how I am. It's narratively speaking, it's unsatisfying to leave it the way it is and to pretend like it didn't happen or barely reference it, if at all. So, with that being said, we're gonna move on to what Kylo Ren sees in the Dagobah Force's cave. Now, this comes from IGN.com. Star Wars is this is what Kylo Ren sees in the Dagobah Force cave. While the period in between the events of Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens are still a little more of a blank canvas, little by little, Lucasfilm and Marvel Comics are filling in the blanks. That is where Marvel Star Wars Age of the Resistance comes in. Each standalone installment of the series sheds light on the background of the different heroes or villains from the sequel trilogy. And in the upcoming Star Wars Age of Resistance Supreme Leader Snoke #1, fans will learn what happens when Snoke and Kylo pay a visit to Dagobah. So, yeah, there's a new preview of the issue, which is written by Tom Taylor and drawn by Leonard Kirk. The story appears to take place in a while before the events of Force Awakens, as Snoke leads his pupil to Dagobah as part of his dark side training. Snoke goads the fallen Ben Solo by telling him that if Snoke had Luke Skywalker at his side, the First Order would already rule the galaxy. So Snoke leads Kylo to the cave that Luke once explored in The Empire Strikes Back. Once inside, he's confronted with the person he fears most, Uncle Luke. So, yeah, he sees Luke in the
Rocky,
cave.
come here. Rocky, come here. Rocky, come here.
So, yeah, that's interesting. I would have loved to see this in the movies, not in the comic book, but it seems interesting. So,
There was no time to place it in the movies. They were too busy
as a
making.
flashback, they could have been a flashback. Don't tell me they don't flashbacks. They did flashbacks in Last of the Jedi. They got a flashback to this in Last of the Jedi.
Listen,
Sorry.
they were.
I'm sorry.
Look, listen. It would make no sense for them to go back and do that because they would not understand why Kylo was still brooding, or
What?
why Luke, wants to suck the
Mm,
teat of a weird
Siren,
camel
siren, siren.
is it Siren?
siren for
Is that what it's called?
green milk instead of training her to not become a bad person. I don't know.
Okay, but yeah, are any of you gonna? I mean, are we? Is any of us watching or reading comics?
I have not had time,
Neither have
nor
I.
Understood.
I still have a lot of unread of the Leia issues.
So I get you. I mean, I still haven't read the comics that I got at 2017's Star Wars Celebration, so it's okay. Don't feel bad.
oh my god, it's horrible, sir.
No, but it's in pristine condition. But I'm not a comic book reader. I've never been a comic book reader,
All right,
except for
so
when I was.
I was just reading the article itself, and I got that to one of the comments of from somebody, and I want to quote, I want to mention this because the whole thing is this is exactly the way I feel, and I didn't know how I felt about this until recently. Um, as a lot of people know, I'm a huge fan of Legends, of the 30 something years worth of books that they wrote that I have been reading and I've been loving, from the death of Chewie to the birth of Jason and Jaina Solo to the subsequent rise of Darth Darth Caedus, who ended up being killed by Jaina, and Abeloth, the young Jedi, Ben Skywalker, Mara Jade, the whole 9 yards. And this is Iron Man Jr. 123. Kylo is literally a shittier version of Jason Solo from Legends, as least Jason had actual reason for going to the dark side. Besides, the dark side is cool, yo. Plus, he was an actual threat who went toe to toe with Luke and killed Mara Jade, his wife. Kylo, on the other hand, is laughable. Literally everyone has beaten his ass. Only reason he is even remotely interesting is thanks to Adam Driver is a good actor. And it's just true. And even his name makes no sense. Ben Solo? Why the fuck would Juan and Leia name their kid after Obi-Wan? The guy didn't know. The guy didn't know Han, and Han barely knew. She never met. It's true that she never met. Leia never met Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Correct.
And Han really was sitting there as like, huh, that kooky old man and his little and his space ninja ways.
Yeah.
You know what? It was, they respected him, but enough to name your child after? I don't think so.
I agree. That always kind of made me feel some kind of way. I'm just like, I don't know what kind of connection they really had. I mean, he served her father well during the Clone Wars. I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
And they took a magical space ride together, Han and him. But they were being indifferent to each other. So I don't know. I agree. That was weird. But that was of course fan service. That was fan service for the original trilogy, and absolutely fan service for the
people who read the Legends.
Exactly. That made people because I remember when we watched the movie, there was audible gasp when he said Ben, because that was the first time that we heard his name. There was audible gasps. Yeah,
I got chills.
I was like so they're like, oh my god, it's Ben. Yeah, that means it's gonna be whatever. So whatever.
So, and there's another comment here that I want to mention only because
sucker.
It's called by Q _990, and it's a very serious question that I want to present to you guys. See, maybe you guys recognize this. In the Star Wars universe, where do all the sheep reside?
The what? The sheep?
Yeah. In the Star Wars universe, where do all the sheep reside?
In the Galactic Senate.
Actually, in the Dagobah system, because Dagobah.
Ha
ha.
What? All right. And with that note, we're gonna move on to why adults can't wear costumes at Disney parks. Before I read this, you're a Disney head? Do you know why why you can't wear costumes at Disney parks? Do you know the official rule?
Yeah, if from what I was told, is it blurs the magic.
Oh, okay.
It messes up the magic of the thing. So it's put this way: I can go in dressed as Baloo, a big bear, and have the actual Baloo somewhere else, because at no point in time are the same character ever supposed to interact.
Right.
They can never be on the same park at the same time. They'll be in different times in different parks, and they have it set up in a very specific way to make sure that the magic is there. So by people dressing up as characters and playing as princess or whatever it is, when it's not Halloween, it really ruins the magic.
Wow. Well, this article comes from Disney comicbook.com. The Disney Parks rulebook specifically notes that guests can be denied entry if they are wearing a costume or mask to a Disney park, with exceptions for special events where costumes are encouraged for people
Yep.
who get specific permission from the park. The Reader's Digest piece notes that it can be a little difficult to get the exact nature of the rule once you move beyond the mask, although noting that masks are only appropriate if they are necessary medically for staying in the parks, but wigs, tusks, of course, and iconic mouse ears are all acceptable for the Disney dress code. There are two basic reasons for this, and unless you are particularly galled out, yeah, galled out about not being to bring costumes to Disney, you likely can guess why. Facial coverings and any kind of play weapons or cosplay are both banned from the park for safety reasons. The second reason is Disney wants to control the encounters fans have with costumed characters inside the park. Exactly which is great. You said it exactly what it says here. I'm not even going to read this, but basically, what he said is correct. That if you are running around dressed as Cinderella, but you don't have a contract with Disney that stipulates how you must behave, you can lose your job and whatever like that. So basically, it is quality control that
Yep.
because some cosplayers are really good, and you don't want them to think that you are. For example, when I go to conventions and I'm wearing my Sora outfit, minus the shoes and the hair, it's legit. And I have had many people ask me for autograph, which I've never done because it's weird. They want to take pictures with me. They wanted to be like, because they thought I was one of those professional cosplayers. And I made it very clear. No, I just got this. I just put this together out of a couple of conventions. So I could see why somebody that's dressed up that looks legit, they think that they are a part of the park, and then they would then represent the company. So that's pretty much the reason why. Did you want to add anything to this before we move on?
Yeah. Now, for those who are really interested in they still want to represent their favorite characters, Disney bounding is a great way of doing it.
Disney
Me
what?
and Pink, it's called Disney bounding. Me and
Okay.
Pink Jess actually do it all the time. On the day that I proposed to Pink Jess, we were Disney bounding as Belle and Beast. We purposely wore an outfit that kind of mirrored um, outfits of the characters we were trying to portray. Um, Almost like an homage kind of to it, as well as if people want to go all out and actually dress as their favorite characters, and actually do that in Disney, you can only do that during one time of the year, and that is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween. So I've seen people come in dressed as Jack Skellington and take pictures with Jack Skellington or Sally and things of that nature. Um, I had me and Pink Jess also another year. We actually did Tweedledee and Tweedledum. And we actually took pictures with Tweedledee and Tweedledum and Alice and the Mad Hatter and the whole nine, and it was a great time. You can get really creative when it comes to things like that. But again, the reason why I'm actually a very big advocate of this as well is the the character actors. They spend years to get to where they are, and they spend a lot of time and hard effort learning how to properly sign like the character that they portray, or as they say, the character they hang out with. Um, they um, they learn the way of speaking, hand gestures. There's a lot that goes into it because it has to be fluid.
This sounds really
Although
extensive.
it is, and it's not something that just like, oh my God, you look like Mulan. We're gonna put you in a Mulan dress, and we're gonna put you over there by Epcot. And no, like you have there's a training process, and it's thousands of people every year apply, and very few are picked. And it's great, and it sucks at the same time. Uh, Imagine being in that outfit for the extended periods of time. It's South Florida weather. It cannot be that fun all the time.
Oh
But
God, no.
but at the same time, you literally make a child's day glow and just. I mean, the one character that I would love to portray, just because they have him inside the AC all day long, so I wouldn't care about it, and also I would fit, is Baymax.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
Their
I
Baymax
can
is
see that.
Their Baymax is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He literally just shuffles around with his arms like this and just kind of goes over to people and he hugs them and takes pictures like that because it's just a big balloon. I've seen him like get stuck against a wall. It's really, really well done. They're Baymax, the people who do Baymax over at Epcot, usually for the inside the by the store is actually really, really cool. Highly recommended to check it out.
Wow, that's cool. I think we need to get you a Baymax, and we need to get you doing something somewhere
I'm
in
I'm down,
Baymax.
bro.
Because
I will Baymax.
oh, I know you're down because then you weren't you the one that had the blow up fan whatever
Jabba the Hutt.
hut that you didn't actually did you wear it? You never wore it, did you?
You wore it.
I've worn it a couple times, but the problem is I can't find the fan that works, so I can't
Right.
use it right now.
So I mean, yeah, we know. you're gonna...
I also have a Tauntaun that I ride around in.
Oh, you ride a Tauntaun? That's kind of hot.
It's a lot warmer on the inside.
That's what I heard. We're gonna move on to Sony CEO says Spider-Man left MCU partly due to Kevin Feige being stretched thin post-Fox merger. And this article comes from Yahoo.com/entertainment. Briefly, basically what it's saying is that another reason why, and I guess I don't know if this is still mitigating the fallout between fans, whatever, but they're basically saying that after the Fox merger, Kevin Feige was stretched even more thin because now he had to integrate all the Fox characters into the MCU and having to deal with one character that had nothing to do with Disney, of course, was just one character too far. It was just one drop that made it spill over. Do we think that this is actually legitimate, or is that just Sony backpedaling because everybody jumped on the whole Sony you suck bandwagon?
Sony's backpedaling, but it doesn't matter.
If it didn't matter, they wouldn't be putting articles out there trying to backpedal. And they really didn't care.
They're afraid. They're afraid that listen, here's the thing, and just this is going back to what you said earlier. They're going to either panic again with the fans and make a deal with Disney and Marvel, or they're gonna stick to their guns and take a chance. And then what's going to end up happening, depending on how that movie does, on whether or not they go back to the fold or not.
Good point. You're right. Flex, you saucy minx, you. Do you think this is legitimate or this is backpedaling? It's a waste of our time. We're just listening to garbage.
I think it's just garbage. Honestly, yeah. Also, it's like, God damn, this topic is so, it's getting annoying, honestly. So I don't know what else to say about it other than like at this point, I don't care.
I get you. I absolutely get you. All right, well, you know what? I guess we don't care anymore either. It's something new. All right, maybe I'll say this will be the last Spider-Man Sony nonsense that I report on until something legitimate comes around. If it's not legitimate, we will not be reporting on it unless you guys tell us otherwise. Yeah. We're going to move on to Amazon has found a lead actor for Lord of the Rings, and I am thrilled about it.
I'm actually really excited.
By him, this particular guy?
Yes.
I don't know.
Have you watched Gotham?
Yeah, not really.
That's not the same guy.
Yes,
Ooh.
Yes, it is.
You're talking about the guy who plays Jared?
Yes.
That's not the same guy.
Amazon has found his lead actor for its Lord of the Rings series, Lord of the Rings fantasy series. It's coming from Yahoo.com/entertainment. Let me see what his name is. Now comes Amazon, whatever, high profile, black. He played in Netflix's Black Mirror and the movie Bandersnatch. Yeah. And he's got a new so that's his face it reminds me who does he play in?
Punchable face, man.
Isn't it though? Oh, isn't he one of the characters in that HBO show with those white trash people?
Oh my God, no! I just realized who he is.
Who is he?
He's not from Gotham. He's from the one with Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, when she's a hard mom.
That was Family.
And his testicles. He gets bit by a spider in his testicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he actually gets a chance to make out with Jennifer Aniston and his sister. Oh my God!
The sister was hot. She was hot. I liked her. So what do you guys think?
Will Poulter.
Will Poulter will be the lead character in this show, and I don't know why You know what I'm saying?
I'm
So
okay with it.
I don't know. I never really. I don't think I've ever dug his acting from whatever I've seen. I don't think I've seen anything remotely remarkable, and I don't see him. I could be wrong. I mean, I don't. Acting is an art that I will never master. Him, I can't see his face in Middle Earth. You know, so
Agreed. Agreed. 100% agreed. I hope they use it for mocap. I cannot see this little kid
yeah,
in Middle Earth. It just doesn't fit.
it doesn't fit
Well,
me
I
either.
mean, it all depends on what he ends up portraying. We don't know what he's going to portray yet.
He's portraying.
Mocap, hopefully.
Huh.
He's the lead actor. He's gonna portray. Maybe he's portraying Saruman the Fair. So maybe he's gonna be the fair version of Saruman.
No.
Maybe not. Okay, we're gonna move on. So, where are we now? Disney reportedly demands cancellation of Star Wars panel. This article comes from comicbooks.com. Disney reportedly demands cancellation of Star Wars panel with Ian McDermott and Hayden Christensen. FanX is currently in full swing in Salt Lake, and a last-minute cancellation is prompting some pretty big Star Wars rumors. According to the above video from someone in attendance, Disney canceled a panel that was set to feature Ian McDermott and Hayden Christensen. While McDermott was confirmed to be reprising his role as Emperor in the Last of the Jedi, the Rise of Skywalker, there's been no confirmation of Christensen will be returning as Anakin. The rumor is that Disney threatened legal action if the convention continued with the panel out of fear of spoilers. So, what do you think? I mean, this is a dick move by Disney because, I mean, last minute, I'm pretty sure you knew about this from get-go, and if I heard a report, if this was breaking some kind of contract with those guys, like a non-disclosure agreement, they would have known this before signing up for it. So how do you feel? Talk about it.
Dick move. I mean, these are all, bless you.
Thank you.
The fans were expecting, the duel that you always get, like a celebration and stuff.
Yeah.
For them to last minute cancel it, I mean, I can't speak too much on what the NDA stuff would have been or could be or is, whatever. But I mean, just being able to see them is a big move. Everything else I don't really care about, but just expecting to see someone and then you get there like, oh yeah, they're not here.
Right. Oh, they're not here, but they're not here because a corporation made them not here. They didn't cancel.
But,
they were told they couldn't do it.
But here's the thing, right? Disney's smarter than this usually.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I think this someone just is. This is what I'm telling you. I can guarantee you this is what happened. This wasn't Disney. This is someone from Disney who basically started panicking because someone had began a rumor that oh my God, Anakin Skywalker is going to be in there because he's been showing around with Palpatine all over, and it probably
it's spelled with an I. It's spelled with an I.
Ryan Johnson. Ryan.
Yes, ruin.
Ruin. All right. So the whole thing is, and I've been trying not to use that lately, but it suits it today.
Lion, that's fantastic.
Lion Johnson.
That was a good one.
That was very well done.
Well done.
Instead of spinning it and saying the reason that they're showing them together is because Hayden finally feels comfortable coming back to the universe, where for many years he turned his back on it because people talked so much trash and really just ruined his career for a little bit, made it very hard for him to do anything else. But he's finally able to come back into the fold, and we bring him back with open arms, at least the non-toxic fans. And then what ends up happening is they finally have the apprentice and the master together, and everyone starts, oh my God, they already brought Ian McDermott back. Well, what about Hayden? Instead of saying, no, guys, that as much as we can't, they just push the idea behind this panel's about Revenge of the Sith. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Or do something else. Somebody panicked and canceled it, and then caused even more rumors.
Yeah, I think that was a dick move, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, The Rise of Skywalker comes out sometime in December allegedly, so we'll see.
Right
we'll
around
see
my birthday, we're gonna have cake. Yeah.
You have a birthday?
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize you had a birthday. It's funny because I just found out you were engaged, so that was interesting. So we're gonna move on.
I'm actually married, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, really? I wasn't invited to the wedding. So
we'll talk. We'll talk.
yeah,
Don't start.
I don't
Don't you
remember
dare
being
start
invited to
this.
the wedding. So just throwing it out there. But then again, me and weddings don't mix. So let's leave that alone. So, too soon. Too soon. Too soon. All right, so we're gonna move on to a really quick reflection. Of course, we were recording this on September 11th, 2019, 18 years ago. 9/11, the infamous 9/11
Yes.
happened, and so I don't know if you guys wanted to do just a quick reflection on it. I mean, me personally, I was living in New York when this happened, so I have my own feeling about it. It was surreal. There was a lot of rumors saying that the entire East Coast was under attack. I mean, I've never seen jet fighters in the sky, like three or four of them circling the sky over and over again. It was quiet. It was really an aura of panic. Even though I was strangely, um, even in high school, I was strangely not oblivious, but very, I wouldn't even say suspicious, but the day felt wrong to me from the beginning. When these events started happening, with everything that was happening. So I was always very, very, very suspicious about the event in itself. But I was there. I was in New York when it happened, and it was interesting. And every September 11th, I'm reminded of that day, and honestly, how that I think that was a day that really started me on the path of being a controversial individual, of being somebody who thinks alternatively, somebody who is conspiracy prone and thinks outside the box. I actually give that credit to the event and how it impacted my psyche when it happened. So what do you guys think, Flex?
I was pretty young, so I mean I didn't really understand the significance of the event. I honestly didn't really care other than I got to go home from school. It wasn't really until I was older and I was given the opportunity to go overseas. I'm not going to say for the country because really I just wanted to blow shit up, and that's exactly what I did. So 9/11 gave me the opportunity to make blowing shit up a cool thing and people accepting it. But it is unfortunate for those who were lost. I did live in New York at one point in my life, but
Allegedly.
it just it, it just in my opinion, I mean it just shows to it just this is why stereotyping in my opinion is not a bad thing. Like if even though these guys looked white like surfer dudes whatever,
Right.
still like if I have something sniffy, I'm stopping the motherfucker. But
Yeah, but I don't think that's stereotyping. It's just if you just said if you feel something feels off, you're gonna stop them. Not if they look
look,
off or
man,
they
look,
look a
I don't
certain
care.
way.
If I see anybody of color, black, brown, whatever, and look suspicious, I'm gonna stop them. If it was a white guy, I probably wouldn't. But whatever. Um,
Wow, that's super honest.
yeah, I mean it's honest shit. Like I was in the business of reading people and making sure we took care of them. So um,
Garbanzo. Oh, sorry. You done? Are you done? You're not
no,
done?
it's unfortunate. I do not wish terrorism on anybody. And it should be
Oh,
punished.
all right. Garbanzo.
Um, I remember the day that I think everyone remembers the day that they got the information that they heard about this, right? No
Right.
matter if you were in elementary school or even high school. And I think this is the first time. This year will be the first year that um, there's going to be kids that will be turning 18 later this year and next year that were not even alive when when it happened.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
it. That's going to be that's huge. It's been that long. And yet I don't know. It's just there's so many things.
We're still, I mean, yeah, but yet we're still suffering the effects of
Um,
that day, with foreign policy, with the TSA, with certain laws that are out there. So
at the same time, certain protections that have been put in place have saved us from other catastrophes that have.
allegedly, save us from
Uh,
other
uh,
catastrophes.
fine, whatever. If you want to say allegedly, I've seen the proof up firsthand.
You
So
see the proof where? Where did you see the proof?
I've worked with. Remember, I work in the hospitality industry. There's things that I have seen up close thanks to connections with certain police departments and organizations that I can tell you right now that there have been events in South Florida that have been stopped by um
Because of the new laws and regulations that are
yeah,
put in place.
yeah, that
Okay,
it just yeah. It's so
I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, there have been again nothing. I mean, there have been some events that were stopped that we don't know how bad it could have been. It could have been minor, but there's no such thing as a minor attack for me. That's the way I see it. Whether one
Right,
person
right.
whether one person gets hurt or 1,000 people get killed, it doesn't matter to me. I still see it the same way. Um, so if any loss of life is a lost life. So um, it kind of it's kind of rough that we ever had to go through that, but um, I think that overall as a country, it did give us a bit of a uh, I hate to even kind of like a soapbox point, a place for all of us to kind of come together and kind of agree on at least one thing that was bad, regardless if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent,
Hmm.
Libertarian. Everyone on the same page agrees that 9/11 was a bad thing.
Right.
Um, so it's at least having that common ground to move forward and hopefully have resemblance of peace in the future. I'm looking forward to it. I know we're a long way from there, but I think we're still closer there now than we were 20 years ago.
Um, I find it interesting that you say that because it's only after 9/11 that we had the first seated U.S. president that was at war every single day of their entire term, and that was Obama. So it's funny you say that you think that we're closer to peace now than ever before, when in
Hmm.
reality, we've never had a president before that spent two terms, their entire term in office, at war.
Well, but
And
here's
we
the no. What I mean by that is that just because we were not directly involved doesn't mean that there were not a lot of bad things going on,
right,
and there's still a lot of bad things going on. But
right,
because of that large event and the mentality of a lot of different countries changed, and they became a little bit more strict and started working on a couple different things and doing things differently, which I think is the first they're baby steps, and we're still far from it being perfect.
right,
But it has began the conversation that, oh my God, it's not just Sudan that has the ability, or you don't have to be in Afghanistan or Iran for this to happen, or in Malaysia, or in Southeast Asia. We're talking about the the middle of of one of the largest cities in the world.
right.
So that's where I'm trying. That's where I'm trying to say it brought it home and made it real, and not just for us, but for other countries like France, England, Germany, Russia. So, but
See,
in Russia's,
no, but this is where I respectfully disagree because what I'm saying, even though it brought it home for everybody, but instead of making a place safer, I think it made everybody more militant. It made everybody more quick to violence, quick to rash decisions to avoid it ever happening to them. And it's still things have happened in other countries just as bad after 9/11, and it's only reinforced that whole we got to get them first, and when we do get them, we got to blow them up first. Preemptive strikes. The idea of preemptive warfare came from 9/11,
I
meaning
love preemptive warfare.
you like it,
It's fun.
but you're blowing up somebody that may or may not be a threat to you. You perceive it based upon whatever intelligence you have. I
I
don't
don't
think the
know
world
them.
is ever placed. I think the world is on the brink of destruction
I agree.
because of things like this. Because he looked at me bad. Because he looked at me bad, I should go over there and punch him in his face. That's preemptive strike. And so when you ask, well, no, because he gave me the stink eye, and I think that stink eye might have meant that they would jump me in the future. So to knock it out, I need to knock his lights out, so it didn't happen. I don't believe in that because I think we've created more enemies than we have solved any issues in this world. I'm just being honest. They may not have attacked us like allegedly 9/11, but we have caused more harm,
I agree.
and we have destabilized at least two countries since 9/11, and
oh, don't get me.
that is not
Hey,
that is not
I'm
helped our cause.
and I'm not sitting here and I'm not trying to argue with you.
No, no, I'm not.
But the whole thing is that I'm not talking about the United States by itself.
But
So
I'm
that's all
talking
I'm saying.
about right. But everything the United States does it affects the world. Is that not true?
Allegedly.
No, that's actually friggin' fact because whatever they do, it does affect the world. It does affect other countries and makes other people look bad. But I mean, 9/11 aside, this is the 18th anniversary. I'd like to take 5 seconds for a moment of silence for the victims of 9/11. If we can just I don't know, close our eyes or something, bow our heads or something. Good and fun. And that is it. So, moving on to the final topic, Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance series review. We're going to throw it over to Darflex, who's been dying for this. Darflex, I don't want to read this thing. Read that for me. Read the thing.
Okay. Well, just so I would like this just to be like a non-spoiler quick review, and then we'll come back to it once you guys are done.
Okay.
I think that'd be good. But so for any of you who has seen the original Dark Crystal from the 80s, this is a new series that just recently came out this year. Dark Crystal, The Age of Resistance series review. When three Gelfling discover the horrifying secret behind the Skeksis' power, they set out on an epic journey to ignite the fires of rebellion and try to save their world. So, how far have you guys? You said you saw episode 1.
I've got to episode 3.
I just finished episode 4.
Oh,
just really quick.
I'm about to work on episode 5 after we're done.
Yeah. So,
and then I'm gonna finish 6. Well, I'm sorry. Never mind.
The series is actually pretty solid. So use all the same practical effects, all the same puppets and stuff. I mean, a little bit of CGI, obviously, were needed, but they use a lot of real-world scenery as well for the world of Thra. Like the settings, use a lot of actual our Earth scenery. Is pretty cool too.
Yes,
the episodes are about 45 minutes to an hour long, give or take, it depends, and they're actually pretty good. And this takes place not right before, but maybe pretty close to the movie, right? Because they're still Gelflings, and they were just starting to, get things going to where it kind of goes towards where the movie is going to be. And I just like all the effects. It looks great. Honestly, it's really hard not to spoil it. But the characters are great. The cast is amazing. The production is great. Jim Henson's stuff is always great.
Absolutely.
And it sticks true to the original movie. It's really good.
Well,
and from my understanding, I think his Jim Henson's son.
I think it's his daughter.
I think his son was actually.
Because I remember I saw his daughter's name in the credits, I believe. But yeah, for me, all I can say is, well, one, this is not part of my childhood. I've never seen Dark Crystal whatsoever. I'm only watching it because Darflex recommended it, and Darflex rarely recommends anything. So when he says it, you got to jump on it. So I watched 3 episodes, and I don't know what it's working towards. So as a prequel, I'm actually watching it probably the way it's intended, without knowing what's going on. But what I can say is that this is some of the most breathtaking effects I've seen in a long time, and I mean practical effects. Now, yes, as Darflex said, there is some CGI in it, but it's what George Lucas said. The old George Lucas, he said, special effects should enhance the story, not the story enhancing the special effects. This is one of those shows where the CGI or the special effects is used to only enhance the character development or the story as is, or to achieve things that the actual puppetry cannot do. And the funny part is because I'm into video editing and video production, I'm looking for those mistakes. I'm looking for that jarring CGI. That's not the puppet. This is the puppet, and or this is a map painting, or this is CGI on a green screen, or this is something else. And I'm telling you right now, I had a hard time doing that with this series. And after halfway through the first episode, I gave up and just did something I haven't done in a while, which is enjoy the show. And that is a glowing review for me. I stopped giving up trying to find the difference between CGI and puppetry, and I began to enjoy the show. I began to enjoy the fact that when you see the puppets, you don't see below their waist. I love that shit. Okay, I thought, and you know what? You would think it'd be distracting, and whenever you did see below their waist, it was for a reason, and it was usually an up close shot or them sitting down, and I was just like, wow, the puppetry is amazing. I said to myself after episode 3 was about to end, and that's when Flex said he's ready, and I said they don't make shows or movies like this anymore.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I don't know which fossils they dug up to figure out how to make the show. Look, it's beautiful, as well acted.
It's the Henson family, bro.
Holy crap! This is like not riding a bike and for a while and then jumping on a Harley. Like It's amazing. Visually, it's amazing. The acting is amazing. There's so many voices I recognize. I have to look at the credits again. They have some heavy hitters playing these characters.
Hmm.
The emotions on their faces. Holy shit, these are puppets. These are the CGIs. I'm so impressed with this show visually, and the story is very interesting. And it's like, I mean, what is the rating for this? This is not a kid's show.
It's PG-13 or PG?
No, it's PG.
It's PG. It feels
I mean,
so much darker.
if you,
than
I
a,
think
than a
if you
kid's show.
if you understand like what's going on, yeah. But I think like when I saw the Dark Crystal,
Right.
the movie's pretty dark. A lot of stuff to watch, but it's pretty deep.
Yeah,
Right.
good. No, it is
Because
really good.
because I mean, you're talking about betrayal. You're talking about themes of murder, of conspiracy, of like, like you got like a hint of Game of Thrones shit going on in there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really like, but there's prejudice, my dude. There's prejudice, stereotypes, and I think a hint of racism in this series.
A hint?
You know, I mean, well, prejudice is one thing. I just don't see racism is taking prejudice and institutionalizing it and putting classes down. I just think they're all separated. So far, I don't see the racist part except for when the underground girl went to the pub. Oh my God, they had a bar fight. They had a bar fight in this friggin' show. I'm like, this is not a kid's show. Legit, it was a bar fight, and the guy got locked up. And it's one of those typical things you would see in an adult comedy. They start fighting for no reason, and the guy who was virtuous gets thrown out and gets put in jail. Like, I found it to be really interesting. The themes of this show, powerful. And I've only made it to 3 episodes. Glowing review. I can't wait to watch the rest of it.
Fourth episode's just as good.
Yeah. So Vibe here, definitely saying you should watch it. It's fantastic. It's so applicable to our world, especially when it comes to subterfuge and how a class can be tricked into giving away their freedom for some trinket, for something, some luxury. It's a huge allegory for that. We need this. This really works for our time. Can't wait to review this again. Once I've watched it as a full review, and maybe even as a Geek Bros original recipe review. I'm actually gonna watch the movie after this as well, and I would love to do like a series and movie breakdown kind of thing. Garbanzo, sorry, I got really excited. Sorry, Garbanzo, you're up.
Actually, I love it. I'm a big fan of the Dark Crystal movie itself. I own it on Blu-ray and DVD. I have the actual VHS at my mom's house. There's very few movies that hold a special place in my heart the way that Dark Crystal, the Last Unicorn, and Labyrinth do in my heart.
Labyrinth I like Labyrinth's movie music.
So, and Dark Crystals was one of those. I remember sitting there watching it with my dad. So this actually has a great memory attached to it as well.
Oh,
but it's just a great show. The story is great, and I can't wait to find out how they get to where they are now to the final result in Dark Crystal. So I'm super excited.
All right, that's fantastic. So again, next week, I guarantee we're gonna have a full review. Of course, the Darflex will be leading it. Other than that, that's it for Keeping the Geek Bros episode 79. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram or Twitter. It's Geek Bros with a 0. It's GEKBR0S. Of course, email us anything you heard here or you want to recommend. Email us geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com. Of course, we've got plenty of fun stuff going on our Facebook. That's facebook.com/geekbros with a 0. Listen to us every week, or sometimes twice
every
a week. On WeBeGeeksPC.com, the first place to listen to us. And of course, watch us the following week, YouTube.com/VibeRep Studios, where you can see the silliness that goes on when we get silent on the air. Gents, shameless promotion before we rock it out. Darflex.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Darth_Flex, and as well as the Inebriator Craftsman on Instagram.
Fantastic. Garbanzo.
You can find me on the gram, the Twitter, and
the gram and the Twitter.
On BEANTKE278. Again, that's BEANTKE278. And Garbanzo's Corner on Facebook.
Fantastic. And of course, I'm Vibe. You can check me out on Twitter, Instagram is VibeRev Studios, VIBEREVSTUDIOS. Of course, it's VibeRevStudios.com, which is down currently, but will be back up whenever I feel like it. Definitely will be back up. It's a work in progress. It's just I'm not a webmaster, and I'm trying to do something that I know I can't do, and it's just driving me nuts. But moving on. And part of it has to do with the Geek Bros page that I'm trying to do, and it's not working out. And I don't have our new avatars yet, so that's making me really sad. I lost our artist, so I gotta find a new artist. And of course, youtube.com/Vibrub Studios and facebook.com/Vibrub Studios. So, thank you for tuning in to Keeping the Geek Bros, episode 79. And remember, geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.